Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Now, one of the things I've been doing recently on this channel is to share life experiences of people who are currently on different visa categories in the UK. I mean, at a point I felt, these experiences are not actually making any impact until I received a couple of calls in the last few days. It just kind of reinforced the fact that some of the experiences I share on this channel help people make better decisions on their next move or on their jobs, on protecting their rights to live and work in the UK, among many other things, basically. So that's why I'm back again with another, experience that someone had and how they were able to navigate through that experience, so that if you know anyone or you yourself watching this video seems to have that same experience or going through the same thing, you know how to work around it, basically. Now, what I'm talking about today is around the UK skilled worker visa. And this is me, sharing something that is really dear to my heart, because many of us who work here in the UK are currently on the skilled worker visa, and we're not on the permanent resident yet. We're just on a pathway too. So it means that if anything should happen to the job we do, the visa we're on right now, it practically impacts the entire, right to live and work here in the United Kingdom. So it's important to actually protect it. So a few days ago, I had a chat with someone who is currently on the skilled worker visa. And this is one thing I thought, especially for those who work in a private sector, please don't sleep on that job. I know I've said this countless number of times. And, when I keep getting the same feedback, getting the same experience, it's really important to re-emphasize on some of these things so that people who actually missed listening to it in previous videos can actually get to catch up on those things in subsequent videos. Now, being on the skilled worker visa, I've seen people who get on the skilled worker visa and just relax and sleep. I'm like, okay, I've gotten a 5 years visa with my employer. I don't have to be worried anymore. I'm on my way on pathway to settlement. And one of the things I personally do, which a few friends of mine also do, is that even though we've got a job that we love, we work in an organization that we can't trade for anything. We're absolutely happy where we work and we'll be sponsored by this current employer. That doesn't stop you from applying for jobs. Yes, it doesn't stop you from applying for jobs. I was speaking to someone a few days ago and she was like, I'm actually scared. What if I apply for a job and my employer got to know? What if they decide to withdraw their license? No, they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't take off their COS because you applied to another organization, if that makes sense. Now, this particular person has been on the skilled worker visa. So she got a 5 years visa with the employer. Of course, after the 5 years, she becomes eligible for visa sponsor for indefinite leave to remain. Now, 3.5 years on that visa. Now, mind you, the organization she works with, they've been very gracious to her. They sponsored a visa. They actually paid for her immigration health surcharge, the IHS fee. They paid for her husband, paid for her 2 kids. So the organization has been really, really gracious to her. And because of how nice they are, very few organizations will fully sponsor your visa sponsorship. Now, because the organization is very loyal, very faithful to her, very, gracious to her, she also reciprocated that gesture by being very loyal. So she never applied for jobs outside her organization. She never even made an attempt to, seek promotion in a way. Now, 3.5 years into the visa, she got an email from HR, firstly from her manager, then HR, that they will no longer be able to sponsor her. They were going to make her redundant, and she was given, I think, 2 months to get a new job because they will be withdrawing their license to sponsor. Now, there's so many things that conspired within the period. I think the company lost a major client and they had to downsize. There were lots of stuff that happened within the organization. So they were within their rights to actually lay her off. Now, what has happened is that in the last 3.5 years, she has never applied for a job. She doesn't even know what the job market looks like as at the time where she's been laid off. And she's practically clueless on what to do next. She's been applying for jobs. She's been getting loads of rejections. And even the ones that were willing to take her on board, because of the visa sponsorship requirements, most of them were very reluctant because yeah, they were not willing to actually take her up on visa sponsorship. And by the way, she currently works here in the UK as a UI UX designer, which there are quite a number of opportunities. And the role is, I wouldn't say restricted in a way, but the role is not as saturated as other tech roles. But still, she was getting interviews. She was getting get called for interviews. But the ones that were willing to offer a job, they get code fit when they discover that she actually do need sponsorship also. So she's been on this for the last 4 months and waiting for the curtailment letter from the Home Office. And by the way, she ended her job with the employer and she's currently not working. As at the time we had this conversation, she wasn't working. And when we had the conversation, I think about 2 months after she stopped working with the employer, she got that scary letter from the Home Office saying that her visa has been withdrawn by the employer and she has 60 days to get a new job or she has to leave the United Kingdom, which is a really scary thing to hear. And yeah, that was the situation basically when we had the conversation. So it was when the curtailment letter got in, that was when she reached out to me and we started making lots of moves, started working towards ensuring that she got a job. And the reason I'm able to share this on this channel basically is that we actually got an offer last week and it was an exciting moment. That was on the 19th of November. We got an offer which was quite interesting, and the offer also came with sponsorship. I mean, we had even applied for the skilled worker visa already. We're just waiting for the Home Office to approve, and then she can resume and then start the new job. And this is what I tell people on the skilled worker visa, that please don't stop applying for jobs, even if you don't want to accept the offer. Now, I'm going to give you another instance. I spoke with someone a few months ago. I think that was around September, October, thereabouts, and she email this time around. He had an employment with one of the private organizations in London, and I mean the job was good. I mean, it was paid well. I mean, it was earning like around 85,000 per year and all of that. And it was doing well. He works as a product manager, and it was doing well. Product owner. So yeah, that's the job role. He was as a product owner. I was doing well, fantastic well, and the same strategy I do use, and a few other people use, he did also the same thing. So while on the job, he was applying to other places, not because he wants to accept the offer, but just because he just wants to test the job market. And that's what I tell people. Even though you're on the skilled worker visa, you're in a job that you love, please, once in a while, just apply for jobs to see what the job market looks like. You never can tell when you're going to need skills, that's experience basically. So what he did was he has been applying for roles. He'll get to interview stage, it's going to fall out of the interview process. He has just been doing that all the while. And so he got the job as a senior product owner with an organization, and thinking they were going to pay about 95k or 93k thereabouts. Because the job was paying well, I mean, he didn't reject the offer immediately. He was still contemplating, should I go for it, should I not go for it? And while he was still having that contemplation within himself and speaking with people, which was where he reached out to me to hear my thoughts about that, because I mean, I've moved across different organizations in the last 3 years. I just wanted to hear my thoughts about it. And the same week when we had a chat, he got a notification from his employer that they have to withdraw his license, or they have to withdraw their sponsorship because they are also downsizing. And luckily for him, he had an offer at hand that could offer sponsorship, was paying very well. They've got a license to sponsor, and that was the saving grace. So the way the discussion came from HR, he had to go back to those guys and then told them that he's ready to move on and accept the offer. I mean, he accepted the offer, but he was still not sure if he was going to go forward, and that was the saving grace. I mean, that offer at hand when that notification came in from the current employer was the saving grace. Imagine getting that notification from your employer and getting a curtailment letter from the Home Office. I mean, the pressure of getting the job would then be so massive, and I mean, it's going to affect your one's performance. So please, once in a while, just go out there. I mean, personally, I just apply for jobs and then see what happens. If I get an offer letter, I tell them, I'm actually, even give me the standpoint to renegotiate a better salary and all of that. So please, even though you're on a skilled worker visa, you've got a job that you love, please once in a while check out the job market, apply for jobs, and see what the job market looks like. I hope you find this video informative. If you do, click on the like button. If you have any questions, state in the comment section. And if you're coming across my channel for the first time, do also hit on the subscribe button to join the amazing growing family. And my returning subscribers, you guys are amazing. Thank you for being here. I really do appreciate you. So this will be the end of the video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you.